Well, good morning, Slow. How are you? You sound tired. How are you really? Happy to be here. I just want to say, and I hope you'll help me say a warm thank you. I know the sponsors and those that provided food were already mentioned, but Melanie and, Edie and Wendy are out there working hard. If we could give them a round of applause for keeping the coffee full, the muffins out for all of us. They make our lives easy this morning. And to your CEO and president of the Slow Chamber and his staff, a very warm thank you for this event this morning. Somebody said to me as we came in, I've never come to Good Morning Slow, and I said, not all chambers are alike, but this one is incredibly special, incredibly welcoming, and always full of friendship. So, but Jim gave me 5 minutes to talk about what it's like to go from being a classroom teacher to leading the 5th largest economy in the world. And so no small feat, but thanks, Jim, for the tidy time frame on that. So what one of my colleagues says is, catch this, don't miss it, because I'm going to go very, very quickly. And I'll start by saying you are sitting in what I consider to be the absolute best assembly district in all of California. And last night when I practiced this speech with my husband, I said, in all of California, and in fact, all of the world. And he said, that's kind of hyperbole. And I said, yeah, but it's slow. And we believe in ourselves, and we believe that we are the best in the world. And it's really true, because this district encompasses 20% of the California coastline. It encompasses 95% of SLO County, but I believe it encompasses the best people in the world. And so if you look around at who you're sitting with at your tables, this is what our district looks like from north to south. What that means for my personal life is I drive 4.5 hours north to south when I'm in district. And then I travel 9 hours round trip to Sacramento when we're in session. I go up Monday and I come back Thursday. And so a lot of you have said, wow, I haven't seen you in a while. And that's why, because I'm in the car 20 hours a week sometimes, going different places. One thing you may not know, unless you're John Ashbaugh, which I saw sitting out there, is that since 1849, there have been almost 5,000 state legislators steering California and steering the economy. And as Jim mentioned, I'm not just from SLO County, but I'm the first woman from my party to get to represent this county and almost 500,000 other people in Sacramento. And so it's a huge honor. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for that applause. But I do get a lot of questions. What's it like? What's it like to be a first? What's it like to be in Sacramento? And what I usually tell people is, well, I went to Sacramento and I took up boxing. There's a lot of aggression, but Scott Collins will understand this. I didn't take up boxing in Sacramento. I took up boxing on the Morro Bay City Council. So, but the truth is, it's incredibly humbling to do the job that we do, because people come to our office at Santa Rosa and Mill, they call our office, they email us, and it's typically in their time of need. It's typically when they need something, and they come to us thinking, well, you're in government, you should be able to fix this. And we typically take a deep breath. I'm going to call on one of my good friends and our district representative, Jen Ford here, who's often answering the phone and doing this work. And we start to think about how can we fix these things. And so what that looks like is earlier during the January and March storms, when SLO County came to us and said, we have to make a choice. We had to make a choice this year between flooding important farmland and flooding people's homes. And we need you to get the funding to help us fix this. And I thought, wow, I'm a first-year legislator. We have historic budget deficits. How are we going to do this? But I'm very proud to say, along with my colleague in the Senate, Senator John Laird, who you know and love, we were able to stare down that budget, and we were able to get $1.3 million for the Atascadero levee. And so that project will be able to get off the ground now. And we're very, very proud. Thank you for that. Very, very proud of that. But what it also looks like is, we went out and visited 20 different locations after those storms, over 20 locations across this district, driving in the pouring rain. And one home that I went to was a woman who was basically shoveling sludge out of what used to be her home, her front yard. And she was filthy and it was cold and they didn't have the right gear and there was no running water and there was no plumbing. And she looked at me and she said, if you're here to shake hands and here to take a photo, like every other politician who's walked through here, then you might as well not even be here. And it was really stunning. It's really stunning when people are that honest with you, because we all think like we're doing great work, we're amazing, we're doing our best. We've we have a little to work with and we try to do a lot. But I thought about that, and so when I went back to Sacramento, I started talking to everybody I could think of. I talked to the chair of emergency management. I talked to our new speaker, Rivas, who is from the Central Coast, and we should be very proud of that. I got the governor in the hallway of all things and started telling him this story, and everybody thought I was telling him some important political thing, and it was really about just one person who needs help from us. And to my colleagues' great credit, to the governor's great credit, to the speaker's great credit, we signed a budget that has historic amounts of money for flood protection, over $125 million, has historic amounts of money for individual assistance. And we really fought for that. People cannot wait 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year to get money when they've lived through this kind of tragedy. They need that money tomorrow. And so we included undocumented people in being able to be recipients of those funds. Thank you. And on the last day of session, we did something that you may not know what this is, but we cut through green tape, right? That's the environmental version of red tape, to get very important infrastructure project done in the north of our district, so that a town that flooded up there hopefully will never ever flood again. And we were able to get that through because we have good leadership and because we have good collaboration in this state legislature. And so my last story, I think because I'm among friends, I can name drop a little bit. So my last sort of moment that was incredibly humbling was when President Biden came to visit the storm damage in the north of our district. And I'm standing there in this very tiny, sort of out of the way airport hangar, and it looks just like in the movies. There's blue curtains everywhere. You can't see anything. There's Secret Service, but you don't know who they are. I'm with people who have been in office longer than me, so they've met presidents before, they've done these things before. I'm surrounded by the people who actually are doing God's work, our first responders, who had been going out to these floods and driving through the floodwaters and coming home at times with rashes covering their bodies because floodwater is dirty. And I'm thinking, like, what am I gonna say to the leader of the free world, like me from San Luis Obispo? What special thing can I say to him? So in my infinite wisdom, I just said, how are you, Mr. President? And what he said to me, because he's incredibly affable, as you know, he said, well, I'm better now. And I thought about that. He said, I'm better now. And as I was getting ready for today, I was thinking, what is our purpose? What is the crux of what we do? What is the reason that we exist, whether it's local government, state government, federal government? What is the reason we put ourselves through campaigns, which is the longest job interview ever, as you know, if you're in public office? And it's so that when people call us, when Jen answers the phone at Santa Rosa and Mill, when they walk through that door, we're clear, we can't fix everything. We may not always be able to deliver $125 million or even $1 million, but we do work for, and this is what we've done all year long, and it's our intention as long as we're in office, to work hard to make sure that every single person who walks through our door can walk away saying, I'm better now. So thank you so much. Good morning, SLUT. It's wonderful to be with you.